All right, everyone, I see it's 3 o'clock. Let's go ahead and find our seats, please. We have an excellent, informative half hour ahead of us, I believe. On behalf of the Senate and House Tourism Committees, I'd like to welcome you and Visit Jackson. Representative Haney, would you like to add some remarks?
The ones that don't know, I'd like to introduce our legal for tourism, Bart Sparing. He does a great job on the House side, and he snuck in on us and taking a few notes if we need them. So we want to thank Bart for what he does. Thank you, Bart.
All right, I believe we have a pitch hitter today. Jonathan Pettis is going to be here presenting. The head of Visit Jackson came down with some illness and he's not able to be with us. So Jonathan, would you like to take it away?
Good afternoon, everybody. Senator Chasanoff, thank you. I really do feel like a pinch hitter. Pinch hitters usually aren't as good as the hitter that they're replacing, so that's a good analogy. Dr. Ricky Thigpen sends his regards. He's sorry he couldn't be here. He called me this morning on my way into work. I knew it was going to be bad news. He doesn't usually call me that early. But thank you for inviting us here. Thank you for having Visit Jackson here. My name is Jonathan Pettis. I'm the Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Visit Jackson. And then I have our esteemed team with us here, and they're all going to come up here in a minute and share a little bit about their individual departments. And because things have changed up a little bit, I'll also be coming back up here to talk specifically about marketing. But again, thank you guys for inviting us. Thank you for the opportunity to share about who Visit Jackson is, what we do, what our strategies are throughout the year. Just a little bit of background, just February 1st, we were meeting. We do an annual outlook, tourism industry outlook. And we were meeting with our stakeholders across the city. Local tourism entities, our city leaders, Visit Mississippi. We present kind of our plan throughout the year and our goals that we like to achieve. And we present that to our stakeholders every year. Senator Chasanoff was there with us. And I think she was impressed by what we were sharing, that she wanted us to share it with you guys. So I'd like to, again, thank you. At the end, we'd like to open up for questions if anybody has any specific questions for us, which we'll be glad to try and answer for you. Jackson is a city with soul. Our destination brand is steeped in our tagline. Soul is our places, it's our history, it's our culture, it's our food, our music, and most of all, it's our people. Our resilience and our determination in your capital city. We like to live by the moniker collective ambition. Visit Jackson doesn't work in a vacuum. We work with every tourism partner, every entity throughout the city and throughout the state to help make Jackson a better place to live, work, and play. So at our February 1st outlook, we shared a brief recap of what our fiscal year 2024 was going to look like. We brought in John Welsh, who is the president and CEO of Destination International, which is the parent organization for all destination marketing organizations in the world. We invited Don because he had recently seen some of the work that we have done, and he was very impressed, and so he decided that he wanted to come to Jackson, Mississippi on his own. He's a Chicago native who once was the DMO director for Chicago, Illinois, and now he runs Destination International. During his remarks, Don shared that Visit Jackson has propelled itself as a respected industry leader. He coined the phrase a destination leadership organization. Side note, Visit Jackson has won the most outstanding destination organization in the state of Mississippi 4 times in a row, 4 consecutive years in our budget category, which is the highest category by Mississippi Tourism Association. Thank you. Thanks to the tremendous work that our entire team does. Also, our website, visitjackson.com, was voted the People's Choice Award winner for Best of Show in the 2020 to U.S. Travel Association's ESTO conference, which is the competition amongst all DMOs across the country. Sorry, there's our award that we accepted this past year. Like I said, 4 years in a row. Mr. Welsh also noted that as we recovered from the pandemic, our water woes, our infrastructure issues, and public safety, we have been an example for others to emulate and learn from. In fact, one of our videos was used during last year's Destination International Annual Convention in Dallas, where we were acknowledged as one of the best 3 marketing strategies for community shared value.
This city, our city, is a thing of beauty, of history, of symphony and energy, of sweet, salty, cool, of blues nights and satisfied appetites at once radical and transformational. This is our city. This is my city.
That's a shortened version of it. 60 seconds usually, but the essence of time. Mr. Wells also shared the outlook for domestic travel for the next year. So the road trips are back. Families are valuing spending more time together and traveling than ever before. These are both recipes that work well for Jackson specifically, but really Mississippi as an entire state. We are in the middle of I-55 and I-20, our airport. We are affordable. We have great history, culture, food, and amazing people. We have what travelers are looking for. I would like to introduce the executive leadership team. I'll start in order from left to right. Our first is our Chief Experience Officer, Ms. Christine Blackman. She serves on the Education and Marketing Committee for the Event Services Professional Association. Next is Dr. Ricky Thigpen. He's the president-elect for the Mississippi Tourism Association. He's on the executive committee for Destinations International, also the U.S. Travel Board of Directors, and he's a founding member of the Capital Area Tourism Association. I'm next. What about me? I'm Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer, and I serve on the Marketing and Communications Committee for Destinations International. Next is Jennifer Chance, our Chief Operating Officer. She serves on the Destination International's Professional Development Committee, and she's the co-chair for the Biz Ops Task Force and Planning Committee. And last but not least is our Chief Sales Officer, Sean Hatton, and she is on the Advocacy Committee for Southeastern Tourism Society and Destination International Sales and Services Convention, DI Convention Sales and Services Committee. And that is our executive team, and they will be sharing again with you shortly a little bit about what they handle. In your box, so some people have already opened up their boxes. I hope no one was let down because it's literature. There's a couple of happies in there. You will find our 2024 strategic plan, which includes our marketing plan and our tactical plans. You'll also find our fiscal 2023 Outlook report card, which is this little guy. We also have a services brochure and a luggage tag and pin. So next time you travel, feel free to put the City with Soul luggage tag on your luggage. Wrapping up real quick, the U.S. Travel Association, this is just more of a high-level view of tourism in general. The U.S. Travel Association proclaims that tourism is one of the world's most important economic sectors. Globally, nationally, within our state, and locally, it is consistently one of our most trustworthy employers, providing a livelihood to a vast population of the globe. We are proud to continue the work in this industry that serves as Mississippi's 4th largest employer, employs over 46,000 Jackson/Hinds County residents who work in the tourism industry. A little bit about Visit Jackson and our 5 pillars. Our strategic pillars, we did a strategic plan several years ago, and we still utilize the findings from our strategic plan for these pillars. Our first pillar is education. Our second pillar is advocacy and community awareness. Our third pillar is partnerships. Our fourth pillar is development. And our fifth pillar, which is represented kind of in the mission of our DMO, is to increase heightened demand for the destination. So generally speaking, the fifth pillar is what we spend the majority of our funds on, the majority of our human capital on, is making sure that we can bring business into the city of Jackson, both from a marketing and sales aspect. During this past year, Visit Jackson remained intricately involved in tourism professional development and advocacy activity at all levels, collaborating with organizations that afford ambition and positive outcomes. This is just a sample of some of the associations that we work with on a consistent basis. They provide us with research, technologies that we need to kind of help us make informed decisions across the in our day-to-day. Capital Area Tourism Association, which is the three little pie charts. That is a new association that was referenced earlier, that is formed by the four DMOs in the metro area: Ridgeland, Jackson, Canton, and Vicksburg. So we share marketing assets and really try to increase destination visitation in the region. We also enjoy wonderful partnerships and support from our local, county, and state public safety resources: the Jackson Police Department, the Hinds County Sheriff's Office, Capitol Police, Downtown Jackson Ambassadors, UMMC Police Department, and Jackson State University Police Department. We are honored to share our fiscal year 2023 numbers with you. You can find all this information within the information that we gave you, but I'm just going to touch on a few highlights. In 2023, we hosted 259 meetings, convention, and events. That was 23,000 room nights with over 1 million visitors. And these are visitors that we can actually track from the meetings and conventions that we hosted. There's a lot more than 1 million visitors. Those are just ones that we actually were able to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Verify. Our return on operating cost was 2.28%. Our occupancy revenue this past year, Visit Jackson is funded by a 1% hotel and 1% restaurant tax. Our occupancy revenue was $440,000. Our restaurant revenue was just under $3.1 million, for a total of $3.5 million. Our occupancy was up with an annual average of 54.7%. And our average daily rate for the fiscal year reached $96 a night, which is also an increase. In 2023, Visit Jackson supported events and meetings that prompted $90 million in direct travel spend, over $155 million in economic output, supported over 46,000 jobs. Jackson Tourism generated $26.7 million in total tax revenue for federal, state, and local taxes, which is an equivalent to $183 in tax savings per Jackson household. And the tourism offset local property taxes by $3.7 million. One of our most significant opportunities moving forward is the sports market. We will continue to utilize data realized from the 2023 evaluation consultant we use to help grow business to the state and Jackson to attract NCAA tournaments and youth sports activity. And we will also work to enhance the local environment to develop a sports commission for Jackson, engaging the corporate community to support bid fees, resulting in economic vitality. At the beginning of fiscal year 2024, Visit Jackson and our board of directors announced a realignment of our human capital at Visit Jackson. Our C-suite leadership provides an overview. As our C-suite leadership provides an overview of our plans, they will introduce their plans for the year. Side note, Visit Jackson was formed in 1983. 2023 was our 40th anniversary, which I think makes us the oldest destination organization in the state. And so we are proud to have led the charge for many years. We are fortunate to be supported by a great team. Briefly, each of them will provide insights into their specific areas. I'd like to first introduce Jennifer Chance, our Chief Operations Officer.
Good afternoon. Thank you again for having us. I think Jonathan did a great job trying to put Ricky's words. I know it's hard last minute getting something like that. My department oversees finance, HR, research, and just general operations. So we provide support to the rest of the departments. I'm not going to sit up here and go over financial numbers or anything with you, so just bear with me. As Jonathan mentioned, Visit Jackson just celebrated its 40th anniversary. Historically, destination organizations were only involved in the sales and marketing aspect of the city. However, organizations worldwide have changed. It's much more about advocacy and community involvement, community awareness now. And as those things have shifted, we realized that we needed a destination master plan for the city of Jackson and the area. So we actually contracted with Hunden Partners, and they're an industry leader in doing master plans for cities. And Hunden's actually working with a local group called Neo Partners. Over the next few weeks and few months, they will actually be coming into the city, working with our stakeholders and like plan working groups, including the chamber. I see that Jeff's here. Chamber, Downtown Jackson Partners, great city foundations, and I'm sure they'll be reaching out to some you as well to sort of see where we can go, bring everything together, because you have great city doing their plan. We have Fondren doing their plan, so we want to try to get everybody together on the same board, on the same idea. While our roles have shifted, our funding has become stretched. We really appreciate the funding that we got from ARPA and CARES Act. That has helped us over the last few years with our expanded opportunities. We can't quit selling, but we also have to be a conduit for our community, as I just mentioned. But we do want to, but those funds are going to expire soon. We have until 26, I think, to finish to go through using our ARPA funds. But we want to be able to maintain that momentum, so we're looking at alternative funding sources. And our goal over the next few years is to increase our revenue by about $1.5 to $2 million. And to do that, we are looking at a few different methods. We're going to implement a partnership program where we work with meetings and entertainment venue in the surrounding bedroom communities. So to see if we can, to offer meeting, this year, the program will initially be offered to meeting entertainment venues as well as select hotel partners in the metro area. It not only provides additional revenue sources, but it gives us a more comprehensive package when we're trying to sell. Jonathan mentioned that we are now part of the Capital Area Tourism Association. We're already doing marketing efforts with them. But this is going to be able to enhance it from a more minute standpoint. And we're looking at public and private partnerships as well within this community. We haven't really looked at that and talked with the corporate community to help us with some of the endeavors we're trying to do. So that's going to be something we're working with. And I know that Mississippi DMO Association across the state have been, and just slight talks about possibly implementing or requesting TID legislation within the state. Hopefully, we're looking at that over the next few years. Nothing's happening there yet. As part of our strategic evolution, we've also focused on enhancing our research capabilities to better understand our visitors and their impact on the community. We use industry-specific calculations. There's actually one, and it's created by Oxford Economics, to allow us to determine our overall economic impact for meetings and events that we've supported. The information in the Tourism Industry Outlook pamphlet, this one here, is actually, it comes from using that calculator. I was not going to come and throw one on the screen to walk through it with you, but I'm happy to sit down at any point in time to show you, and I can run a report to show you how that data is calculated. We're also working with companies to obtain information on our visitors, credit card data, cell phone data, things like that. And that gives us information, so the demographics of our visitor, where they're from and where they're going while they're in the city. It's really cool. We have a dashboard. You can see heat maps and everything, and it breaks things down by age and stuff. So that's helping us with our sales and marketing efforts and the overall strategy that we have. And to that point, I'm going to turn it back over to Jonathan so he can sort of talk about his strategies and stuff in that.
Thank you, everybody. Again, if you've walked in, my name is Jonathan Pettis, the Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Visit Jackson. I'm going to just wear my marketing hat during this part of the presentation. So I would like to acknowledge and thank all of the members for the tourism funding that we received, all destination organizations across the state. Visit Jackson, we had a very strategic approach to these funds. We wanted to make sure that we understood who our visitor was. As you can imagine, with smaller budgets and trying to figure out, like as Jennifer mentioned, the bandwidths and the stretching that we have, there's just been, over the years, we've kind of used our website data and other means to kind of figure out who our visitors were. Thankfully, with these ARPA funds, we were actually to contract with some national research firms to help provide where our visitors are coming from, what their demographics are, how long they're staying, where they're staying, what they're spending on. And so that's really been able to help us develop an entire persona of who our visitor is. And so because of that data, we're able to now market more effectively and efficiently across the South and the Southeast. We also were able to partner with a firm that was able to help us with communications and crisis communications. So as you guys are well aware that we've had some challenges with our water and our infrastructure, and the water crisis definitely reached a national level. And we really felt like it was important to find out from our PR firm to what extent has that affected travel. And so we've developed some qualitative and quantitative research to help us answer those questions. The good news is that as of now, moving forward several months after the major crises, it's not really affecting tourism as we once thought it was. It definitely did during the time and leading afterwards. And so we have some great data that shares that that's not a message that we need to put out in the marketplace and remind people that we have safe drinking water and talk about all the infrastructure improvements. Fortunately, tourism isn't really good at that. It's not really something that I've been trained to market. So we're able to focus more on what our actual tourism assets are and get to focus on why people should come and not focus on why they should not come. And so, like I said, the dashboards that we have and the research that we have really puts a face on who we're going after. And again, that's because of you guys. So thank you again. I'm going to pass it over to Sean Hatton, our Chief Sales Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, I have the exciting job of selling the city, along with 3 other sales team members. Our sales team works directly with the marketing team to produce creative sales videos. Jonathan showed you a quick 60-second video of one of those, and collateral to introduce the city to meeting planners and tour operators throughout the United States and internationally. That's kind of what slid on the floor. We have some awesome collateral that each one of our salespeople use. Each one of them has something different, whether we're speaking to someone internationally or whether we're speaking to a sporting group. You see our sporting stuff on the front, or whether we're doing a wedding. We have some information about weddings, different people bringing weddings, association groups. So each one of us has a different piece of collateral that we take out when we're marketing the city. Our team attends various trade shows. We promote our hotels, our meeting facilities, our attractions, and our restaurants. We also work with lead generating organizations that prospect for groups that match the number of hotel rooms that we have in Jackson and the capacity of our facilities in order to make sure that it's a good fit for our city. We want to make sure that our focus is on business that truly works for Jackson. Fortunately, we've seen a tremendous interest in our destination over the past few years. Despite some of the challenges Jonathan mentioned, the interest in the capital city with people outside of the area continues to grow. What we found that it's our local people that are really the people that are complaining about the things in Jackson, but when we're traveling throughout the United States, they're in love with the city. They're in love with Mississippi. So it's just getting people to Jackson that's really, once we get them here, they want to come. Let's see, the 2 museums, which I hope each and every one of you guys have been to, the 2 Mississippi museums have also created a lot of interest in the city with group and international tours, and their attendance numbers continue to grow year after year. Our civil rights, our culinary, and our music reputation in the city continues to be a huge selling point for our sales staff. In addition, Jackson also has 2 of the most popular venues in the South for sporting and large meetings, the Convention Center and the new and improved Mississippi State's Fairground. These 2 facilities contribute to the growth of some of our top markets, our association market, the religious market, the sports market, and I'm sure you guys have seen all those trailers that are down there for the equine shows that are in town. Over the last year, we've only seen a slight decline in the number of occupancy and the amount of occupancy in Jackson. And Jonathan talked a little bit about that, and you guys see it in some of the information you have. The great news is that our hotels continue to do a great job in increasing our average daily rate. We call that ADR. So if you notice when you go to a hotel, one week it may be one rate, the next week it may be a little bit higher. Those numbers help us grow that revenue in Jackson. And that with the growth in our ADR numbers, this kind of helps level out the overall economic impact of the city. In order to maintain this growth, we have to be very innovative. We have to be involved with our clients as well as our local partners, and we see a few of those in the room. It definitely takes teamwork. We're finding that meeting planners are very interested in what the destination has to offer. They don't want to just meet and go back to the hotels. They want to indulge in the sights and sounds of the city. We have been very fortunate to attract and maintain several national major events in the city: the International Ballet Competition, the Blues Marathon, USA Gymnastics, cheer, volleyball competitions, the National Baptist Convention, USA, major equine events that I mentioned, and also our exciting collegiate sports. All of these events help solidify who we are as a destination. Our most recent national group we had in town was STS, which is Southeast Tourism Society. I went to South Carolina to do a bid presentation to this group. And when I went, we were right in the middle of the water crisis. And of course, one of the first things, or a couple of things I got asked is, when we come, will we have water? When we come, what about the crime? Will we be safe? I made a commitment to that group standing on stage that day that if they gave Jackson an opportunity, we would not meet but exceed their expectations. And in October of 2023, that group met in Jackson, and we did just that. We not only exceeded their expectations, but we amazed them. Our marketing department created signage, which some of you probably still see throughout the city, that was displayed to cover up some of the not so pretty sites that we have in downtown area. We work with downtown partners, John Gomez. We work with the chamber as well to do a deep cleanup of the area. We also work with the city on a few other beautification projects in the areas between the Westin and the Hilton Garden Inn. We work directly with Capitol Police and JPD to make sure they were instrumental in ensuring that as the attendees walked around the city from the convention center to the hotels, to Martin's, to Hallamals, Iron Horse, and other areas in the city, that they felt safe. Again, teamwork and collective ambition. The group is still raving about how great Jackson is, and now we are on the radar for other events as a result of these efforts. This event alone generated a little over $400,000 in economic impact. Again, these are the things that we do to exceed expectations. Our team remains dedicated and committed to continuing to market, sell our capital city, your capital city. In closing, if there's an organization that you are affiliated with that our team can help bring to Jackson, I would love to talk to one of you guys afterwards. Again, now Christine, our Chief Services Officer, will come and talk to you a little bit more about her job. And all of my stuff is sliding.
Thank you, Sean. Good afternoon. My name is Christine Blackman. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today as the Chief Experience Officer of Visit Jackson, the destination leadership organization for Mississippi Capital, dedicated to bring economic prosperity to our beloved city in the entire state. I will explain my role, how we accomplish the missions through servicing meetings and events held in Jackson. Once our sales team secure a meeting or convention contract, my first contact is through an introduction correspondent, letting the meeting planner know I will work with them on conference details. Convention services are designed to enhance the value of meetings held in Jackson, and that helps us maintain repeat clientele. Our most important responsibility to the client is to make them feel that they are our top priority. One highlight that makes Jackson so attractive to the client is during our pre-conference meeting, we let them know we will hold their hand and walk them through the meeting planning process step by step. We recognize the challenges meeting planners and organizers face, such as per diem rates, venue cost, local transportation cost, and budget constraints. Here, our complimentary services become a crucial incentive for new and repeat business because we offer at no cost, free complimentary services to enhance and offset the cost of meetings in Jackson, such as on-site registration assistance, personalized name badges, city site inspections of our various hotel properties, information on things to see and do, where to eat, promotional literature, and welcome letters from the governor and mayor, and a personal welcome from our CEO or one of Visit Jackson staff members. Visit Jackson tracks everything. One method of tracking is conducting a post-convention survey meeting to ensure that the planner was pleased with the services we offered during the conference and for client testimonials. The conference success is based on the support services of all businesses located in Jackson. In regard to that, Visit Jackson worked closely with the city to coordinate security, event location, restaurant and attraction promotions, including our partnership with monthly brochure mailouts to the 13 Mississippi Welcome Centers. An example of our relationship with local stakeholders is Jackson was the host destination for the Mississippi Blues Marathon. This event required a certified race course to be classified to run in the Boston Marathon. This event brought in over 1,400 runners that potentially stayed in Jackson hotels and ate at Jackson restaurants. We teamed with the Hinds County supervisors in the city of Jackson to ensure city streets were sound and ready for thousands of runners before the event date. Visit Jackson also offers funding to events held in Jackson. Several formulas are used to determine what enhancements we can offer a conference. The Services Department determines these fundings through the use of our internal economic calculation system based on various factors such as number of overnight rooms, attendance numbers brought to the city by each individual event. There must be a trackable financial return on our investment to qualify for funding. However, if there's not a trackable financial return on our investment, we will offer complimentary services as a show of gratitude for them choosing Jackson as their meeting destination. Let us also remember the JXN Welcome Center, the gateway to the city, the first brick and mortar welcome center in Jackson, which opened in October 2020 and has hosted US and international visitors. In conclusion, our work at Visit Jackson is not just about hosting events. It's about fostering economic vitality, creating a lasting positive impression, and showcasing Jackson as a premier destination. Your support is instrumental in realizing this vision, and together we can continue to make Jackson and Mississippi shine on the map of world-class destinations. Thank you. I'm passing it back to Mr. Pettis.
That's honestly the conclusion of our presentation. We wanted to leave room for, that's our welcome center, leave room for questions and answer, or questions if anybody had some. Y'all are welcome to join me up here if you want to. No? Okay. Anybody have a question?
I have a comment. It occurs to me that those of us who are in the legislature spend at least a third of our lives living in Jackson. We're here in session 3 months out of the year. Usually this year it's 4. And if you figure in the number of days that we come for committee meetings and other things throughout the rest of the year, it might be getting closer to half of our time. So I would encourage us to think about that as we are stakeholders. And we appreciate this. Representative Haney?
I'm not sure who this would fall under, but who's in charge of the Jackson Zoo?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's that's completely run by the city of Jackson. They have requested assistance from Visit Jackson before. We have helped them in some ways as far as marketing support, helping them on their social media, but nothing.
I know over the years, it had been mentioned trying to move it LaFleur Bluff, with the Children's Museum, stuff like that. So I don't know. I know that's a different animal, but no pun intended. That was pretty good. So anyway, we'll talk more about that.
Comment? Question?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To each of you, I just wanted to tell you, thank you for your presentation. We really enjoyed it. To the lady there, I don't know exactly how we go about fixing this problem. I heard you say that most of the citizens that live in the city of Jackson, for some reason, can't find everything accommodating or attractive, but all the visitors who come to your city, they find everything. Well, I experienced the same thing in Bolivar County in Cleveland. We have the only Grammy Museum. We have all the nice hotels you want. So I just want to let you know, if you find a solution to that problem, let me know. Thank you.
Are there other questions?
And I was just going to say real quickly, we, a few years ago, and it's referenced in that video, we launched a campaign called My City. And that was something way beyond what normal tourism entities do. What we really felt like the citizens of Jackson needed a little more pride in their city, and not to the fault of their own, just there's just a lot of negativity out there. And so it's easy to be mired down in that. And so we wanted to try to highlight all the positive things happening in their city. We developed a My City brand and a My City blog to just share positive news and information about the city. So that's one effort that we're trying to do.
Are there other questions or comments?
Comment.
Our Vice Chairman on the Senate side.
Thank you for that presentation. It was well done and very informative. I keyed in on your strategic plan that you spoke about. How long has that been in place, and when do you plan to update your plan?
Yeah, so it's, we actually contracted our strategic plan in 2018 and launched it in 2019. It's a 5-year strategic plan. And so it officially launched at the beginning of 2019. So this year will be the year where we will work on getting a new strategic plan.
Since we're doing the destination master plan, we sort of wanted to wait a little later in the year to contract with someone to work on the strategic plan as well, so that we can incorporate and fold in some of the long range plans into the shorter range strategic plan for us.
Okay, thank you. I think it's very good to do a plan and to do the research, because oftentimes you uncover things that you hadn't thought about that will be excellent for visitors in your particular area.
And we, 5 years ago was the first time we actually used an outside. So we had done our strategic plans internally, and we realized that we were too close to it. And so we outsourced with a group out of Georgia who had been doing strategic plans for organizations like ours for a while. And so that actually helped us tremendously.
Excellent, thank you.
Chairman Haney recognized the attorney for the House Tourism Committee. I'd like to recognize our Senate attorney, Allison Bradshaw, who does an excellent job, who has a very strong interest in the arts, and which are a big component of tourism, I think. Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And Mr. Chairman, I wanted to let you know that the Jackson Zoo is in my district. And on behalf of the community, they would like to really keep the Jackson Zoo in our neighborhood, but we do need some help and we do need some resources. So just putting that on the table for anyone that is willing to partner with me on that. But I wanted to give two compliments to Visit Jackson, first as a consumer and then as a customer. I had an opportunity to attend the Jackson Wine and Food Festival last weekend, I think it was, and it was excellent. So kudos to you guys. I know it was a big feat, over 2,500 people, I believe, in downtown Jackson, with national chefs and the celebrity chefs and then local chefs as well. And I just thought it was an excellent event. So congratulations on that. And then as a customer, I'm a conference planner by trade, and I work very closely with Miss Christine on all my conferences held here in the city of Jackson. And bar none, you all have the best team in place to help planners and event organizers that want to do business in the city of Jackson. So as much support as we can give you, I vouch for it because you use it to the very best of your ability. You're doing an excellent thing. And we don't always talk about or hear about excellence in the city of Jackson, but Visit Jackson is one of those things. So thank you so much.
Representative Gibbs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And this is just kind of the piggyback off of Representative Summers' comments. We really appreciate at the beginning of our session, the boxes that you all provided to remind all of the members in the House and Senate of Visit Jackson. While I didn't get to attend the Wine and Food Festival, I think that it is a wonderful opportunity while legislators are in session, maybe as a suggestion, to maybe provide a short list of events that are happening. I know a lot of us are busy attending other things, but to provide that to us so that some of our legislators and senators can get out and experience some of the events that you guys put on. I know it's really in my interest in Representative Summers, a part of Jackson delegation, to try to churn some alternative opinions folks have about our great city. And that might be a way for them to think about Jackson the way that we think about Jackson, and this being our capital city, a place of great culture and experience. So, but thank you again for the wonderful presentation, and we appreciate you guys for being here.
If there are no further questions or comments, I think it's about time for us to get ready to go to our respective chambers. I want to thank you for coming. We appreciate it on behalf of the Senate and House Chair. We have learned a lot and we appreciate it. Tell Ricky that we missed him, but that we were well informed. Do we have a motion?
Thank you, everybody. Oh, good.
So
Yes.
I'm in town, 7-year-old and 8-year-old.